Baby, Candace Owens seems to have a pretty clear reason why up to now Diddy is walking free without a care in the world. And it has everything to do with what Kanye West said a few times, that Diddy is working with the feds.
And the reason why you got talks is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying?
Child, does Kanye West know something we don't? And is it something he has told Candace as well? Because the way this informant narrative has been making rounds since the release of the hotel footage of Diddy and Cassie is insane, y'all. Honey, I'm not even surprised that the footage from the hotel still has people talking. And it's the fact that Cassie said in her lawsuit that she took a cab to her apartment after the incident, but upon realizing that her running away would cause Diddy to become even angrier with her and completely stuck in his vicious cycle, she returned to the hotel with the intention of apologizing for running away from Diddy. What? Then when she returned, hotel security staff urged her to go back into a cab and go to her apartment, suggesting that they had seen the security footage showing Diddy throwing glass at her in the hotel hallway. The lawsuit also said that Diddy paid the Intercontinental Century City $50,000 for the hallway security footage, but somebody definitely kept a copy. So the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office already issued a statement on the surveillance video saying that they cannot charge Diddy. And this is what they said: "We are aware of the video that has been circulating online. We find the images extremely disturbing and difficult to watch. If the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, unfortunately, we would not be able to charge, as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of this nature can be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs." But if you ask Candace Owens, she will tell you that Diddy not being arrested is really not about the time the incident occurred. His lack of arrest has everything to do with him working with the feds, allegedly. Now, Candace has said quite a few things about Diddy over the years, and she's had some pretty strong opinions since the first lawsuit dropped. For instance, she said after the raids that she believes that the bigger fish are being protected in a tweet where she was like, "The feds are currently raiding Diddy's house. They already knew what he was up to, but he is going to be the fall guy so that they can protect the people at the top of the ring. They are raiding his home to hide evidence, not to find it. That's how this works." In addition, when the surveillance footage from the hotel was leaked, Candace shared the footage on her X feed and tweeted, "He's not in jail because he's a Fed/CIA asset. Kanye tried to tell everyone." Baby, speaking of Kanye trying to warn us, Candace was most definitely referring to the times Kanye suggested that Diddy was working with the feds. For instance, sometime back, Kanye shared a screenshot of a text conversation between himself and Diddy, in which Diddy appeared to want to talk face-to-face about the controversy Ye had stirred up with his White Lives Matter shirts and comments about ending the Black Lives Matter movement. Kanye said in the conversation, "I don't like our convo, I'm selling these teas. Nobody can get in between me and my money. Never call me with no BS like that again unless you ready to greenlight me, cause anybody that got on that tea is me." Diddy then texted back asking for Ye's address so the two men could talk in person, and that is when Kanye called him a Fed. Again in 2022, Kanye stood by his remark as he once again accused Diddy of sharing some possible connections with federal agents during an appearance on the Drink Champs podcast. During his conversation with hosts Noré and DJ EFN, Ye said that he doesn't have any celebrity friends because no one helped him when he went on social media asking for assistance after he allegedly claimed his ex-wife Kim Kardashian kidnapped his daughter North. But then he also said that Diddy is working for the feds.
That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my co-car.
Kanye also basically made it clear that he wants nothing to do with Diddy when he refused to meet him face-to-face just the other day. The thing is, Diddy, accompanied by his entourage, attended Rolling Loud in Los Angeles with the intention of personally greeting Kanye backstage. But according to TMZ, Kanye seemed uninterested or indifferent to the proposed meeting, despite Diddy's apparent support for Kanye at the festival, and even bringing up his children to watch the performance. Kanye reportedly told his people that he did not want to see Diddy face-to-face. Like, he had absolutely no interest in talking to or being seen with Diddy at all. Anyway, back to Diddy and the possibility that he could actually be working for the feds. There have been a few things that a lot of people have pointed out since the lawsuits were filed that are a bit sus. For instance, when the feds raided Diddy's homes in LA and Miami, King and Justin were detained while the search was going on. And from the videos and photos that made rounds, you can see them in handcuffs talking to the authorities. Misa Hilton even shared footage of what happened, showing how the feds were entering the West LA property, fanning out across the home, searching for evidence. In the process, Kim and Justin were detained in a hallway inside the house, and you can see Justin approaching law enforcement personnel with his hands above his head at one point, as King is being handcuffed with his chest pressed against a wall. In addition to Diddy's two sons, two of Diddy's assistants were also detained and questioned. Then, a former Syracuse basketball player, Brendan Paul, was also arrested on 2 felony charges at a Miami airport, and he was accused of working as Diddy's alleged mule. Brendan was apprehended at Opa-locka Airport before he could board Diddy's private jet, and according to court records, he was booked for Coca-Cola and controlled substance possession and released after posting a $2,500 bail. Well, the arrest was not surprising, considering Brendan's name appeared more than 10 times in the February lawsuit filed by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones as Diddy's mule. But even though Diddy's houses were the ones being raided and people were getting questioned, he was not detained. He was only spotted at the Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport, pacing around outside a customs office there at the airport, but was never detained. These are just some of the things that are making people believe that he could actually be an informant. Well, other than Kanye and Candace, we've also had other people saying that they believe that Diddy might actually be a paid informant. For instance, Suge Knight said something bigger is going on, and there are people being protected, as he tweeted referencing Clive Davis and Jeffrey Epstein. People, the raids today wasn't for Diddy. It was to destroy the incriminating stuff on powerful men. Hashtag Epstein, hashtag Diddy, hashtag Clive Davis. Someone else who suggested that Diddy may actually be working with the feds is Gene Deal. And if there's one person who has done the most spilling about Diddy, it's Gene. So if he says that he believes that Diddy may be working with the feds, best believe that he knows what he's saying. Gene specifically said that as a paid informant, the feds would let their informants commit crimes as long as they don't do things like unalive people in exchange for protection. In addition, there were also previous reports claiming that Diddy had been pushed to the point where he now has to snitch on everyone who was involved in his dealings. And he's not sparing anyone. Diddy was already facing a huge mortgage debt of nearly $100 million on 3 luxury mansions in Los Angeles and Miami. And with the amount of money he has to cash out because of the lawsuits, reportedly, he's doing whatever he can to salvage some of his money, even if it means snitching on people. Well, let's just say that given the circumstances, most people don't even need a lot of convincing to believe that Diddy may be working with the feds. In fact, a lot of people on social media seem to share that very same sentiment. Like, there's this comment from someone that said, "So many celebrities are assets of the government whose only job is to lie and manipulate the public's opinion on certain things. The CIA have been using Hollywood and celebrities since they have been a thing. It's time to reject everything that has to do with Hollywood and elite society." Baby, if by any chance Diddy is actually working with the feds, then I can't help but think that the feds need to be publicly audited and also significantly downsized. Cause why on earth would they need people like Diddy as assets to begin with? Child, it's crazy to imagine that such people are the ones being paid for information. But you know what? I'd like to know your thoughts on Diddy possibly being an informant. Do you think people like Kanye and Candace are right? Sound off in the comments section below.